Whether you are thinking about becoming a restaurateur or you are already in the business, Michael Politz has written a must-read, the Food and Beverage Magazine's Guide to Restaurant Success. Pick up your copy today at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, or wherever fine books are sold.
Food and Beverage Magazine Live, bringing food and beverage to life with your hosts, James Beard Award winner Jennifer English and Food and Beverage Magazine publisher Michael Politz. Featuring leaders in the hospitality, branded food and beverage, and CPG industries, many of whom are Jennifer and Michael's friends in the business. For an informal and informative conversation where friends in the business share the latest intel, ideas, and best practices. Live, juicy inside scoop from the tastemakers, newsmakers, bread bakers, drink shakers, spoon lickers, clam diggers, farms, foodies, and friends of the food and beverage magazine world. Here are your hosts, Jennifer English and Michael Politz.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jennifer English. I'm the editor-at-large of Food and Beverage Magazine. And I am going to talk a lot today about what I think is an incredible resource that if you have a dream of being in the hospitality industry, if you want to participate in the future of food, if you want to join Food 3.0, which is the next version of our industry, this is an indispensable resource. Okay, yes, I am completely biased because not only am I friends with Michael Politz, the author, he and I are colleagues together here, and he's my boss. But I want to talk about why this is such a great resource and why it's such great information. It is a virtual how-to on how to start a business in this industry. So many people have dreams of being in this industry as we emerge in the post-COVID era, in the new world of food. It's very, very exciting. I want to talk a little bit about things that I love and have this quest to find. One of the things that is an absolute passion of mine and has always been is perfect fried chicken. Not just any fried chicken. That abounds, but extraordinary, irresistible fried chicken. People who focus on doing one thing particularly well tend to do that thing particularly well because it's born of a passion. We're going to talk to somebody today who is a chief out of a military service for which we are enormously grateful. But he took his dream and his perfect recipe for irresistible chicken and became inspired to take the next steps. And this is now an exciting opportunity because he's franchising. We've watched this happen. We're cheering for him. Chef Frederic Gilmore joins us now from the Hot ChikN KitchN headquarters. I am thrilled that you're here, but I have to tell you, I have been watching your story unfold. I've watched your journey, and I am here cheering for you, and I'm thrilled to welcome you as the founding chef and chief culinary officer and co-owner of the Hot ChikN KitchN. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Yes, it's been a journey so far, and we love it, and we get after it every single day. So we're just proud to be here and proud to serve the communities that we're trying to open up in, and we already are operating in.
You know, I want to start by, first of all, thanking you for your service to your country and our country. And I want to talk about that idea of service, because as we face the future of food, the idea of it being a service industry is something that becomes even more important as the jobs that were the service jobs that we had in the old food world are transformed in the new food world. But I want to talk about that core idea of service.
Yes. So actually, when I made the decision to actually get out of the Navy, which will happen here shortly, that was the big thing that kept me in. Was I was serving our country at large. But with Hot ChikN KitchN, it also opened doors for me and my team to serve the communities that we serve in, but not only that, to serve the employees that we have, right? To show them that, you know, you're not just a fry cook, you're not just working on the line, you're not just a POS worker, you're not just a runner, you're not just a prep person, right? So service starts within the back of the house, the front of the house, you know, and then it goes to our guests, right? We're no better than a dishwasher, a fry cook as owners. And we get in there and we get after it with them. And that allows us to serve our communities that we open up in, and to really push our mission, which is unity through food, and show that hospitality is not lost in this industry, that we need to bring customer service and hospitality back. And we think that, honestly, we set the standard at this point, and we make sure that we hold all of our franchisees and our workers and ourselves as an ownership group accountable on a daily basis for this.
So let's start by saying, what is Hot ChikN KitchN?
So Hot ChikN KitchN is a Nashville style chicken restaurant. We serve chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders, chicken and waffles. We have an 8-item menu that we execute perfectly because we have dialed in the process so much that it's very hard for us to mess up on food. And that allows us to go back to what we were talking about, to really concentrate on customer service and hospitality. We are very different.
And by the way, are those 8 items in the images we're looking at here?
Yes. You have most of them there. Only thing I'm missing there is the donuts, I believe. But
I'll let you take us to the menu in a second.
Yeah, no, that is definitely highlighting our main items, our mains on the menu there. So, however, though, as you see our sauces there, that's a great picture you had pulled up. Our sauces, which I do have with me here as well, that we sell at retail. That's what makes us different. So typically in the Nashville world, chicken is fried, and then it is either dipped or basted with another layer of oil, and then it is you have a pepper rub that they sprinkle on the chicken. One thing we found, a couple things we found, but I'll start with the first one. The biggest thing that we found was it doesn't sit well in your stomach when you double dip already fried chicken with another layer of oil. And also, you're not getting the full pepper rub on the chicken when they're doing that. Sometimes you're missing the whole left side of the chicken, the underneath part, if they forget to flip it. So with us, what we did was we're dipping hot chicken. So we have 4 levels of heat, and we incorporated, as we go up, the heat level in that pepper into the sauce. And then once you order your chicken, you can have it plain or the 4 levels of heat. And we dunk the chicken into to your heat level that you've ordered. So the chicken is coated. You're not getting that extra layer of grease. And also that flavor is there as well. We're not losing flavor because we're adding heat. The flavor is already infused into the sauce. So as we are serving our customers, they're really getting to enjoy hot chicken, but you're also enjoying flavorful chicken at the same time.
I remember the first time I heard you speak on Clubhouse, and I learned about what it is that you're doing. And I want to talk about how you opened your place and how you became a restaurateur. It's not, were you in some kind of food service in the military, or is this something that you have in your background, or is this something that is truly a dream come true for you, or both?
So as an entrepreneur, restaurateur, that is a true dream that came true for me. But yes, it is my background. Since I was 13 years old, I've been working in restaurants. Started off as a dishwasher and just worked my way up. Embraced the grind, embraced the suck, day in and day out. And then in 2009, I actually enlisted into United States Navy to become a culinary specialist. I went to the recruiter's office and I told them that is what I wanted to do, and that is all I will be an asset for the Navy to do. And that's what I did. And my career took off very well. I've had a very successful career in the Navy. But, as I said before, it's time for me to hang it up. And then, so yes, to answer your question, yes, I've been in food service a very long time. I love it. And I'm just, blessed, to say the least, to have the business partners I do, to do what we do on a daily basis.
Now, where is Hot ChikN KitchN today?
So our first location is in Woodbridge, Virginia. Our second location is in Stafford, Virginia. And our third location is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And then on the franchise side, we have a store opening up in Paramus, New Jersey, Sarasota, Florida, and Tampa, Florida right now.
Congratulations. That is so exciting. And I know there's a lot more on the horizon, but I want to talk a little bit about the Food and Beverage Magazine Guide to Restaurant Success, because during the period of COVID, you talk about the timing of all this, because when you went into business as a food service operation, there would have been a lot of people, I'm going to imagine, saying no matter how delicious your food is, like, now is not the time to do this. Can you talk a little bit about how you use that moment that a poet friend of mine calls a brief era of global constraint? How you turn that into an opportunity?
The opportunity, so I feel strong on opportunity, right? So opportunity, I think, is there for a lot of people. It's either you answer it or you don't. We have a team, my business partners and I, we just knew that this concept was a great concept, and just because it's COVID, it's not going to stop us, and we're just gonna get in there and do what we do best. And we also realized that people were shutting down restaurants during COVID, but how can we make their experience? And again, this is why I can't hit enough about hospitality. We knew it was hard times for everybody. We knew it was trying times for everybody. And we wanted to be the spot that you could come to, when the CDC said we could actually leave our homes to, come out and dine with us and just, try to rejoice a little bit that, we had some freedom again. And we just had a great mission. And that was the unity through food, right? So we opened up to be inclusive to all. We didn't want, during that time also, Black and white people were getting into it again. We were having some race wars. We wanted to open up a spot where you just come in, you're comfortable. Our vessel to the people is the excellent chicken that we produce. But really, when you get in there is really when we set that stage or that arena that we call it, and make sure that every time you come in, you feel welcomed, you feel wanted as a customer. And that's what we do, and we knew during those trying times there needed to be a spot for that. And why not open up and let's just get to it.
Can you talk a little bit about the book and how it was of service to you
Absolutely.
in the whole Hot ChikN KitchN journey?
Absolutely.
When did you discover the book and the journey?
Okay. Do I have a minute to talk about it? I actually have notes here.
You have all the time in the world, but I'm really curious, when did you find the book, and were you already on your quest?
So I was on the quest of meeting my business partners, yes. But it was just the idea of, before we really got the process rolling, getting inside, revamping the kitchen, doing some layouts of how we're going to do it, what our process is going to look like, and that's where the book really came in and helped me. So if with my notes, I went from chapter 1 to chapter 4, 5, 6. So from chapter 4 on is really where that book dialed in on what I needed, what my team needed, and what I applied to Hot ChikN KitchN. Prior to that, we already the CEO of the company we had the money, we had the restaurant, so we didn't need the funding or anything of that nature. But we did need a process. We did know we were going to face adversity, which the book talks about a lot. And there's a lot of gems in the book. And if I have a minute, I can go through the key gems for me, and I think that the world should know, about the book. I mean, it was a lifesaver. It's like the food Bible at this point, the entrepreneurship for me. If you looked at how I write in the book, I circle things, I highlight things, I make side remarks about it. The book is a blueprint, and you use it for what your process can use it for. And the other stuff, just try to share the knowledge to other people to see what they need. So I have written down here, chapter 1, finding mentors, right? So that is huge. The CEO of the company is one of my great friends now, treats me like a son, and a great mentor when it comes to business for me. His son, Anthony, another co-founder, me and him are like brothers at this point. You couldn't tell we weren't raised together. So we just knew we needed to build that relationship, and the book talks about that, and that was great. We built a relationship, and we're like three musketeers. We get after it together day in and day out. Building relationship in chapter 1 is next, right? So how do we build relationships? A lot of times, just being a chef and not an entrepreneur, I was always so worried about food, training. I didn't have time to build relationships necessarily, but as a business owner, you have to. Or sometimes I had some social anxiety where I didn't want to build relationships. I just wanted to execute great food and get my job done and, make people happy. So, a quote of mine is food is love, so that's how I show my love to the world. And that's what I was mainly focused on as just being a chef. But when you come into a co-ownership aspect and actually having ownership of something, building relationships was probably the number one thing we did when we were in the restaurant. And it has opened doors now to franchising as quickly as we have. Chapter 4, menu building, right? So we have an 8-item menu. That again, like I said before, we execute perfectly, right? So menu building is very important when you're opening up a restaurant, especially during COVID, right? So you know the food cost is high. People.
We're showing the menu right here. Let's not scroll too fast. I want to make sure we give Chef Freddie the opportunity to see all of these.
Yes.
So let's talk about your menu because it's such an important point. It's certainly one of the reasons for being in business. If you're in the food business, you're talking about the menus, you're talking about the food. And it's not as simple as it seems. A menu is more than just a description of what you offer for your food. It actually has a very important job to do. Can you talk a little bit about how the book helped you understand how you had to create menus for this enterprise?
Absolutely. So the menu talks to your customer before you do is how I took it, right? So your descriptions, before somebody tastes your food, they need to be tasting your food just by reading it, right? Your salivated glands are going, you're getting, water in your mouth. You're like, oh my God, I need to taste this before it even gets to the customer. They believe it's good. And that goes into your descriptions and how you build a menu out, right? And, Chapter 4 hits on that. Also, execute what stay true to your food and just put that on the menu. A lot of places have a booklet of a menu and, 5 things are good. And your overhead is holding, 30 items worth of food to go into, a 30 item menu, which they don't even need. Right. So we knew, okay, we're going to come in and we're going to execute these dishes perfectly. And before we even talk about it, people are going to love it because of how we describe our food, the pictures that we describe in it. And then when we talk about it, the passion that we have behind it, they're already sold.
Let's talk a little bit about your main dishes and then we'll talk about your sauces. The mains that you've created on your menu. Let's start here. The Nashville style chicken sandwich is really your pièce de résistance.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about how that became the star of your enterprise and your recipe. What makes it so special? What makes it so distinctive?
Absolutely. So yeah, that is the star. We are known for our Nashville style chicken sandwich. I really dug into how we are going to build the sandwich. I dug into how our palate breaks down food when we actually take a bite. So we start off with a nice potato bun. We toast our potato bun, then we use our chipotle honey aioli sauce that we call our good sauce, which is phenomenal. That we have requests to bottle that and sell it at retail. The next layer we use is a pickling agent, which is pickles, followed by our succulent fried chicken, which there we have another crunch. Then we have another pickling agent to break that heat a little bit and to give your palate just a little bit more twist, like, what's going on here with our homemade coleslaw. And then on the top there, we have the potato bun top. When you take a bite of that together, it is godliness in your mouth, the way we designed it and constructed the sandwich. And that's why it's our star product.
Can you talk about that chord of flavor? Because as you're describing these elements, I'm hearing the sweet and the sour from the pickle. I'm hearing the different elements and I'm imagining that chord of flavor. And then when you add the next layer, which is the heat, that's got to be sensational. Talk a little bit about that idea of the music you're playing with food, that chord of flavor. How did you learn about being so distinctive? And was that one of the lessons from the book as well?
So that was a lesson from the book, but also something I've learned throughout my years. I've done a lot of ACF competitions. I was the lead trainer for the United States Navy Culinary Arts team.
Oh, cool. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you for that. People don't understand, A, what a commitment that is, how much work it is, but how much you give back to the next generation.
Absolutely.
As an old dame in the industry, I just want to say thank you for that.
So what I was taught coming up was chef meant teacher. Chef meant mentor, right? So I'm no good without my replacements coming into our industry, right? And I just always want to give back. And I was in love with training. It was another way I could give back in service to my country, to just train the young culinarians below me. And I had trainers that above me, again, mentorship, that took me under their wing. And I just wanted to give it back, you know. But back to the sandwich, you know, so that is, I don't know how PG I have to be, but it's an orgasm in your mouth, to be honest with you. Food is love, so we'll talk about it like it. And the way we layered it and did it was just the way it breaks down in your mouth, the way you go from soft to sweet to acid to crunch, back to acid or a pickling agent, back to, you know, a little sweet from the potato bun, right? Everything that we've designed there is just an orgasm in your mouth after the first bite. And it's, you know, it's designed for the customer, right? Who's your end user? The end user is the customer, and what do they enjoy, and what is the best way we can serve that?
I'm sure that actual direction is probably in the book here. That's a very Michael Politz. Yeah, but he and I are very similar in the sense that it must be irresistible. Yes. It must be so delicious that you couldn't possibly think of a thing to do to make it even one tiny bit better. Let's talk about the chicken. Chicken is in the name of your restaurant. Chicken is at the foundational core of your excellence. How do you choose the perfect chicken for this?
So going through vendors, right? So in the early stages, we were going through vendors and seeing what kind of specs they had and what they could provide. Also, what's not going to run out, right? Because when you open a restaurant, that's your word to your customer that you are going to have this every day they want it. So we had to choose the best rep there, or best company we could find. After finding that company, we did test runs with thighs, we did breasts, clip tenders, things of that nature, and we decided that we are going to serve a juicy, succulent fried chicken breast, and also juicy, succulent fried chicken tenders. And again, we dialed in on our batter, we dialed in on our marinade, and we got after it. And now we execute it, and we made it so duplicatable, and that we can franchise it, you know. And that was the name of the game. We bring in everything fresh. I do want to highlight that, right? There's no frozen product besides French fries, obviously, but there is no, you know, breaded somewhere in a factory, brought in. Everything is brought in fresh, raw to us, and we take care of it in the back of the house. Let's
talk about franchising. This is your opportunity to send a message out to the industry, the 14 million readers every month of Food and Beverage Magazine, many of whom are people in our industry, some of whom lost their jobs, some of whom whose restaurants closed. This is a really watershed moment, because I truly believe every time we do one of these shows that we do it for the person. We're in service to the person who needs to hear what's going to be said today. We do this for the one person that really needs to hear it, and I hope everybody else is inspired as well. But somebody today is going to hear you and say, that's for me. So I want to give you the chance to talk to the person out there that is here to listen to you today, that needs to hear from you why this franchise is for them. Help us understand that.
So first, I'll say that you have to vet franchisees. And when you're going into business as a franchisor, you're the franchisor. You know, you're making a relationship with people, right? They're spending money on your brand, and you are spending time and money you've already invested into your brand on them. And you need to make sure that it's a good fit, right? Not everybody's a good fit. If it's a money hungry person and they just want to open up stuff in the food game, that's not the answer. You have to be dedicated to this industry to really have that full buy-in of, you know, franchising a Hot ChikN KitchN, right? It's not about, you know, just making money. Our numbers are great. That's why we can have an FDD and really look well on paper. And that will come, but you need to be passionate about the customer service, the unity through food, the great brand that we have built to serve the communities that we're going to open up in. And that's what we're looking for. And then after that, you know, we dive into what kind of sales are we doing? You know, how easy is the process, but still fresh and still just so good and still, you know, house made, right? Because when we talk about other franchises, everything's delivered to your doorstep in a bag that you boil, or you know, pre-fried chicken that you're heating up. You know, we wanted to make sure we had a process that was duplicatable for our franchisees, but also that we're still serving and staying true to our name, which, you know, we bring in fresh chicken, and we make the sauce in-house, you know, things of that nature. But for franchising, I think we have built something to, yes, number one, for some franchisees to make money off of, but also a buy-in that this brand, we're not going to stop. You know, we have a team. Big thing in the book was building your team. We have built a team. So, you know, the original three were Mike Sarago, Anthony Sarago, and myself, Chef Frederic Gilmore. And after that, we realized when we had the opportunity, and it came to us, really, the franchise world came to us. People just kept asking, hey, can we open a Hot ChikN KitchN? Can we do this? Can we do that? Right. And then also the book highlights this, right? So there's license deals and there's franchise deals, where people get confused. And we were going to do it at one point until Mike, Anthony and myself were talking. Well, if we did a license deal, people can deviate off of our recipes. People can add things on that we don't want on our menu. So we knew we had to wait a little bit more time. Don't take the upfront money. Be patient in the game. And let's get our FDD done. And we brought on partners that have been in the franchise world for a long time, had to make sure that was a good fit for us. And here we are, you know, our FDD's done and we're ready to go. But we think we bring a lot to the table. We think we have a great team. I know that we will get the job done for our franchisees, and we will go to bat for them, train them properly, follow up with them, and help them. A lot of failures in the franchise world is because the franchisor is so money hungry. And they're just worried about, you know, how much money can I get up front with my royalty fees. We even set our royalty fees at a reasonable price so people can actually afford us, you know, and live on the back end, right? You know, our franchise fee up front, and relatively speaking, is really well, compared to our other franchises out there. And we guarantee our support, day in and day out to make sure that, you know, we can live up to our word. And, you know, it's our brand, it's our baby, right? So Hot ChikN KitchN is here to stay. Hot ChikN KitchN is going to the moon, as they would say in the crypto world. We're here to do it. And we just bring that energy, you know. Me and my one business partner, Anthony, who's like a brother, we call each other the boosters, right? We bring that energy every day, and we're not going to fail, and we're not going to let our franchisees fail, and that's our word.
I want you to, we got the scrolling for the website on the bottom of the page, because I want to make sure everybody knows how to reach you and how to get more information about what you're doing. Hot ChikN KitchN, how you spell it is a little unusual. So tell us how you came up with that spelling, that iteration.
So that was my business partner, Mike. He's from Youngstown, Ohio. So I kind of tease him, like, you know, probably like the public schools didn't really teach you how to spell chicken and kitchen, but it worked for us. You know, we want to be different. We are different. We think, we're just different people, and we just love being different. It's okay to be different and embrace being different. And here we are with spelling chicken and kitchen wrong, but it works. We stuck to it, and we believe in it, you know?
Well, it's not wrong. It's just incomplete. I love that you left the E's out of it. I think that's fantastic. As you can see, I've got a big E back here, but you're not missing a thing. Let's talk about the fact that you're making really delicious chicken. People in your market love it. People around the country are clamoring for it. One of the items we saw on the menu was the Chickn Waffles. How did you meld those two traditions? Because the Nashville chicken sandwich and the Nashville hot chicken isn't necessarily the same as a chicken waffle. How does the waffle wear the heat?
Very well. So we have a really, really good waffle. And again, you can always get everything plain. So our chicken without our sauce, I'll put it up against anybody's as well, right? So before we even get into our Nashville style, fried chicken versus another concept's fried chicken, I'm going to take Hot ChikN KitchN every time. But it pairs well, right? So again, we have a sweet and tangy sauce, and then as we go up in our sauces, we add our heat levels, like I stated before. But the waffle pairs great with the chicken pairs great with the waffle. And honestly, as you go up in heat, it's kind of like that palate cleanser, that waffle, right? You take that piece of chicken, you bite it, then you take that waffle, dip it into maple syrup, and it's almost a palate cleanser for you to just enjoy and have it the whole way through.
So let's look at these bottles of the hot sauce we've got up on the screen here. Can you see those?
Yep.
Take me through the line. I'm going to assume that the increasing intensity of the red color is going to correlate as the heat of
Absolutely.
these. And look at the darkening of the color as it goes, the intensity, I'm going to imagine.
Yes. So our first sauce is the base sauce. This is our sweet and tangy with a little bit of heat that we have. And what's great about this sauce is it actually starts all of our other sauces, right? So we make a base sauce here, and then as we go up to the next sauce, which is our afterburner sauce that we use habanero pepper in, right? So we infuse habanero pepper into our next sauce. This is our second heat level. Our number one seller is our afterburner in-house, and people love this. This is that I can deal with heat. I like heat, but I really don't want to kill myself while I'm eating sauce. Our third sauce is Angry Hot, which we use Trinidad scorpion pepper in. We infuse Trinidad scorpion pepper into Angry Hot. And this it gets hot here. We're jumping Scoville units like nobody's business from afterburner to Angry Hot. And it's hot. It's hot.
Does Angry Hot hit 100,000?
Over. We're talking 3.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. But what's great about this, as I said before, is the pepperheads love our sauces because it is so flavorful. Like you are enjoying heat, right? And that it 9 times out of 10 they're not enjoying it. They just they're pepperheads and they can muscle through it and they get tough. Here they're like, oh, this is really good. I need a break. I need to sip something, but it's really good. Now our fourth sauce, Meg, this beast in itself, and I sincerely mean this is a beast sauce that is very flavorful. Being a chef and having to do the recipes, I always have to try it. I continue to have to try it to make sure we're on the mark and it's coming out the way we need it to make sure that the sauce is just consistent. But this is a problem. This one right here, I dare customers to come in and eat. We actually in our first store have a bell in there. If you actually finish a medic sandwich completely from start to finish, we'll let you ring the bell, put you on our Instagram page, on our story, just so you feel some type of accomplishment there.
Well, Chef Frederic Gilmore, I am incredibly grateful that you've come and spent time with us. I'm incredibly proud of you and the success of Hot ChikN KitchN. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to highlight you as an example of somebody who recognizes that we're all in this together. We're in service together. And the book that Michael wrote that our team is squarely behind, if it helped you, that's the point. And we are so grateful for the privilege of being in service to you. We're grateful for your service, and go out and turn people on to this delicious Hot ChikN KitchN concept. I have to tell you, I wish you could gold belly me some, because I know Michael and I can't wait for you to get to Las Vegas.
We're coming. And to the viewers today, Jennifer, to any young culinarians out there, any young entrepreneurs, anybody thinking about getting in the game, please pick up a book. Please get a book. Please get a book. I can't say it enough. This is a living testament, and it continues to help me out on monthly basis. I'll go back and just read over something. It is great. Michael, thank you for writing this. Food and Beverage, thanks for backing it and getting behind Michael with this. But I wish I was on the back. The back has great testimonies. I wish I could be on the back to make it.
We'll get you there in the next printing, because it's coming.
Trust me, I would. I mean, this is it's a great tool to bring to have in your toolbox. It's next to my chef knives. It's a great tool to have, seriously.
Chef Frederic Gilmore from Hot ChikN KitchN in Virginia, soon to be all over the country. Keep your eyes open and keep yourself hungry, Paramus, New Jersey, and a couple of other places I heard him say. If you want more information about how to get involved, how to visit your very own experience at Hot ChikN KitchN, of course, you can go to hotchiknkitchen.com. How did you meet these fantastic men? Ian, Paul, it's so lovely to have you here with us. Welcome. And I raise my glass to welcome you. Welcome. The incredible Vanessa Hudgens and Oliver Trevina. Hello and welcome. Hi. Cheers.
Hi. How you doing?
I want to talk about the fact that the incredible Padma Lakshmi is joining us. Our extraordinary friend Diane Meena joins us from her home.